Thank you, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Bill Felkner. I am the project coordinator for Clean Rhode Island, the Coalition for Legislative Ethics and Accountability now in Rhode Island. We are a membership of about, well, specifically 21 groups as of yesterday. We made a conscientious effort to make a very diverse group. We have representatives, advocates on the left, such as Progressive Democrats and Rhode Island Future, and members on the right, Rhode Island's for Immigration Law Enforcement and Tea Party, several groups in between. There are groups such as the Unitarian Ministries and the Alliance for Safe Communities that represent community sectors, and of course, such as the Builders and Associates, the Rhode Island Builders and Associates, that are an example of the business communities that support our work. Again, we tried to make a very diverse, politically and community organization to express how important this issue is. And also, to Speaker Mattiello's point, it's an economic issue as well. So we also got a few notable individuals that would endorse our statements. Alan Hassenfeld, John Hazenwhite, Gary Sass, Ken Block, and of course Phil West had already identified himself as part of the coalition. So there's many people here that will speak for themselves. My job was to find a consensus among those groups. Quite frankly, they don't all love the bill. There's always going to be something that is not agreeable to everybody. But I wanted to come today to share 4 key points that they've all been in agreement, besides the fact that we think it's a wonderful thing that we've gotten this far. Firstly, and you've heard it, and many of these will be repeated because I think some of the coalition members have already expressed it. But the first point is that this moratorium language must not be in the Constitution. As it's been explained by people smarter than I, that it could be done legislatively or through the Ethics Commission, but quite frankly, the Constitution scares a lot of people because if there are issues with it, we want to be able to address it in the future. Secondly, and again, this has been mentioned, but if there is to be a moratorium, make it identified by the number of days rather than a legislative defined day that can be changed in the future, to the Ethics Commission's point. And we would also ask that it be shorter. To Speaker Mattiello's point, he expressed that the spike is in the last 2 months, as Representative Yu had commented on. And so we just feel that a much shorter window would be appropriate as well. Thirdly, regardless of the length or even if there is well, obviously if there's a moratorium, the Ethics Commission, again, it's explained by the Ethics Commission, Jason at the Ethics Commission, the Ethics Commission itself must be allowed to initiate an investigation. We have put them in place, given them a tremendous amount of power and trust, and we have to expect or respect that they have the ability to do that responsibly. And lastly, the and adjudicate. I can't get into the legal side of it as well as John Marion or Mr. West. But I can say that Common Cause had 7 lawyers look at it, and if 7 lawyers agree on 2 words, that's an amazing feat, and we think that that's going to get it done. So, again, I've got to deal with 21 groups. They all have boards of directors. Getting consensus is not easy, but we have those. And the last thing I wanted to say after sharing that is just to say thank you. It has been 7 years. Many people have fought very long and hard. This is a pretty good bill. If we can make those 4 changes, it gets to be a much better bill. I'm here to tell you we'll never find a perfect bill because I've got people on both sides of several issues. But to make those changes would be monumental. And to Margaret's point, it would do an amazing thing for the credibility of this body. Thank you.
Representative Jello.
Thank you, Chairman Keeble. Can you tell us the mission of your organization?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Bill Felkner. You're talking to me?
The mission of your organization, though.
Yes. The mission of the organization is to educate the public and legislature on who supports this ethics reform legislation and why.
Oh, so it's how long have you been in existence?
We just started it to make this push last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Bill?